As vice president, you've worked very closely with President Biden for almost 4 years. He was here on our show.
Yeah.
And he said there wasn't a single thing that he did that you could not do. Mm-hmm. What do you think would be the biggest specific difference between your presidency and a Biden presidency?
I have done a lot of work as it relates to, sadly, but violence against women and children. I care a lot about that. I love our small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me predominantly, but we had what we called a second mother who lived 2 houses down, who helped my mother raise us. Mm-hmm. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. And so the influence of a personal experience will have its impact on the presidency.
Well, if anything...
Yo, Kamala Imhoff. That's your name. That's your name. Unless it's Doug Harris. He took your last name. Because it's looking like you run things. Or, I don't know, I digress. Listen, we get it. I promise you, us Americans understand that you grew up in a middle-class neighborhood. We understand that the lady downstairs that ran the daycare is like your second mom because she lived down the hallway and she practically helped raise you guys and your middle-class family. And that's why you love small businesses, because small businesses are the root to all success, really your success. And so just like you said in your proposal, this is what you're proposing to small businesses, and the 50,000 and the millionth time in a different way. We understand and get the story. That's not what the lady asked you. She asked you how your presidency would be different from President Biden's. And you couldn't even answer that question. Like, you completely bombed that question. Like, you fumbled. And the other team picked it up. And it's under 2 minutes to go. And it's no more timeouts. Lost the game. The one thing about being a leader, being a commander-in-chief, right, is that you can't just take credit for the good things that happen. You also have to take accountability when bad things happen. But see, what you like to do is you like to point the finger at everybody when something bad happens. It's always President Trump's fault. It's President Trump's fault about the border. It's President Trump's fault about the taxes. It's President Trump's fault about COVID. It's President Trump's fault about the hurricane. It's President Trump's fault, blah, blah, blah. You guys are in leadership. Take some accountability. I would almost respect you guys if you guys would be like, look, you know, we're not perfect. We fuck up just like everybody else do, but we've learned from that. And we're going to try to make things better. If y'all could do that, I could at least, I wouldn't vote for y'all, but I would at least respect y'all. You feel me? But y'all can't even do that. Y'all say all the good things that happen with this administration. Y'all take all the credit for your smiling Hallmark cards, which I don't know it was good, you know. But then all the bad things, everybody else's fault and not y'all's, because y'all try so hard to mend things and do this and do that, but you're getting blocked, but you're the ones in leadership and this person's not, and it just doesn't make sense. And then in the rest of the interview, she doubled down and asked you again, and you actually agreed, right, that you wouldn't have a different presidency than Joe Biden because you were a main contributing factor to everything that was done. So to all the liberals out there, to all the people that got all the excuses in the world about Kamala Harris, she sat on The View. You can go watch it after this. She sat on The View and said she wouldn't have did anything different. She's the same person. So you're technically voting for Joe Biden when you vote for Kamala Harris. Nothing's going to change.